Hey y'all, Blaumagier here, and we're back with more Sonic Origins Plus. Last time, we made it through a couple more zones in Sonic CD, and got all but the last time stone. In this episode, I think we're going to get that last time stone and start making our way towards the end of Sonic CD. So let's jump back into it with Quartz Quadrant. This zone is actually kind of a short one. It's kind of divided into like a top and a bottom. And it's got these conveyor belts, which there are little flags that change the direction that the conveyor belt is flowing. I do want that shield. Oh, that was close. Uh-oh. That might be the end. Yeah, that flag just changed the conveyor belt there. I need some more rings. I need one more ring. Okay, we're good. I guess I was wrong when I said that might be the end. I know it's really short, though. Yeah, here's the goal. I like Quartz Quadrant. That's a cool zone. It's very easy to time travel in Quartz Quadrant. Okay. It's the last special stage, so it's probably going to be the most difficult. There is a lot less bumpers to stop you from going in the water. Oh, I narrowly missed that one. Oops. I'm gonna fail. Gonna have to redo it. Oh. I just barely got that UFO in time. Ah, there we go. That's the last time stone. Now, all futures are good futures, which means we have met the requirement for the good ending. And that's all the time stones do for us. They just lock in a good ending. But with that out of the way, I don't have to play as carefully for the rest of the run. I can just do what I gotta do. Get through the game. I can go fast. The badniks in this zone tend to be spiky, or have the ability to be spiky. I'm noticing. Okay, I had to hit that. And there's the goal. Like I said, Quartz Quadrant's kind of a short zone. And the boss is a rather interesting one. But anyway, welcome to the good future of Quartz Quadrant. It's a very pleasant looking place with some kind of civilization in the background, living peacefully here. We have lovely music to accompany it. And here's the boss. So this boss basically destroys itself. The idea is you run this conveyor belt, which, through the power of friction, causes the bottom of Eggman's platform to melt. And the only trick is that occasionally he'll drop a mine on you. I mean, who hasn't dealt with having a mine dropped on their head once or twice? Now it's getting too hot for Eggman and he's doing the hot foot dance. And that's it. One thing I will note that's very strange about this game is that there are two distinct art styles for Eggman in the game. We have one that looks like he did in Sonic 1. And then we also have one that kind of makes him larger and rounder. And, I don't know, it's weird. Welcome to the Wacky Workbench. Probably the worst zone in the game. The floor, when it becomes powered, bounces you to the ceiling. And generally you need to stay low to the ground to be able to progress through the stage. And of course, low to the ground, there are traps that will encase Sonic in a block of ice. Like right there. If you do get encased in ice, the best thing to do is to just mash the button. You will come out of it on your own, but I think if you let it happen on its own, you take damage. Anyway, if we weren't in the good future, these things in the background would be electrifying and becoming stage hazards. Whew. Honestly, the good future was not a bad way to get through the zone. You don't really have to contend with badniks in the Wacky Workbench. There just aren't that many of them. And honestly, because of how big the stage is, you're not likely to actually run into them. And Act 2, we get this pretty quick start here. I do appreciate the free shield. Oh, thanks. Right after I say you don't really have to contend with the badniks. I kind of do want to go to the future. We'll just stick with it. Okay, that was electrified. That would have damaged me. And there's the goal. If you don't know how to get through the Wacky Workbench, it can take you upwards of like 6 or 7 minutes to get through an act. It's probably my least favorite zone. And the boss of Wacky Workbench is actually the farthest I made it as a child in that weekend that we had the game. I, for whatever reason, could not beat the boss of Wacky Workbench. Can I please get that? Thank you. The boss is actually very easy, so I don't know why I struggled with it so much. Oops. That's all you do. You hit him, you avoid the rubble from the ceiling, which will include blocks that can crush you. You stand on one, floor electrifies, you jump to one you weren't standing on, and the process repeats. Except this time there's a hole in the floor, and it is a bottomless pit that will kill you. And the process repeats. This time, however, there's going to be spikes falling from the ceiling that you need to avoid. And also, there's a ceiling that will squish you, so you want to stay on the same block that you're standing on. And that's it. Easy. How did that cause me so much trouble as a child? I don't know. I was apparently really bad at games as a child. And with that, we go into the game's probably most iconic stage, the Stardust Speedway. I don't want to go to the past, for sure. I would love to go to the future, but gosh, I can never find future, I can never find future signposts. The music here is great in the Japanese version. But honestly, you just want to keep going to the right, and eventually you'll reach the goal. This is a stage that you can get yourself stuck in, but it is a very short stage if you know the way, because the speeds, as the name might imply, are very fast here. Yeah, there's another pass sign. Oh, there's a future sign. And I wasted it. Awesome. Oh, there's another one. There we go. This will get us into the future. Despite this being a fast zone, there are actually a lot of badniks in this zone, which is why I wanted to go to the future. Not what I meant to do. Come on, work with me here. That's what I wanted to do. It's probably more thematically appropriate to still be able to go into a bad future in this stage by the time you get to the boss. There's a lot of these tunnels where you either hold a direction or don't hold a direction to determine where Sonic goes. I don't know why that spring was there. And now we have our boss fight, which is very different than the other boss fights, because it's not really against Dr. Eggman. Although he will be chasing us with an instant death laser. Can I get those? Yes, yes I can. Our boss battle is against Metal Sonic here. And it's just a race. We don't fight him. In fact, you want to avoid touching him whenever he is electrified or powered up, because you will take damage. And he'll just do this at regular intervals. He will either power up like that if you're ahead of him, or he'll electrify and go slower if you're behind him. Like that. Either way, he does destroy spikes and stuff in his path. And it's just a rubber band race. That's all. Though, the real thing that matters is just that you win at the end. Because whoever doesn't get into that door before it closes gets hit by the instant death laser. But with that, we save Amy. And that takes us into the final zone of the game, Metallic Madness. This zone is a little bit aggravating, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? It's fine. It's the final zone of the game. It's really not one of my favorites, though. But, if you'll remember, when I changed the music to Japanese, I replayed the intro. And I pointed out the positive messaging of the lyrics of the intro song. Now listen to the music of this stage, and it's basically Eggman saying you can't do anything. And it's a really interesting little bit of storytelling going on there with the music. You don't really see games do that, and this was something that back in the day was only possible with the CD quality music, because you couldn't get lyrics like this on just a bog standard Genesis. Of course, it's not saying lyrics right now. No! Yeah, these springs are set up in a really bad position. I am going to try and stay in the present here, because I know that going to the future does actually block off your path to the goal. Stood still for a second there so you could listen to the lyrics. Definitely don't want to get crushed. So, Act 2 here. So Act 2 here brings some gimmicks that are very memorable. Or rather, one gimmick that's very memorable, I should say. We'll definitely see it at some point. But otherwise, it's more of the same. A lot of these springs, these crushers, badniks with the buzzsaws, giant bombs. Yeah, watch out for the bombs. I'm not going to worry about the future, because we'll get there eventually. Ah, that's the gimmick. But I couldn't get in there to it. I do want to show this gimmick. Okay, how do I get up there? Oh, the walker, of course. I forgot the stage had these. These walkers are activated by jumping onto the back leg. And now we gotta get away from the bomb. The walker despawned. That's awesome. Hopefully the bomb doesn't respawn. No, badniks don't respawn in this game. What am I thinking? I don't think badniks respawn in any of the Sonic games, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, here's the gimmick. You hit the laser and you become tiny! It doesn't really affect much, but it does make you awfully adorable. And of course, we can still drop dash and spin dash and super peel out. Super peel out, by the way, if you haven't noticed, kind of a useless ability. There's a reason why it didn't return to a Sonic game until Mania, which was a game made by fans. The only people that remembered super peel out existed. We just gotta work our way through this little bit of a maze here. Don't go through that door. That goes back earlier in this maze. Oh, we got a bomb there. And that laser grows us back. And now we get to play Spike Tetris. If you're good, you can actually get out of here kind of early, like that. Which I like to do. So who wants to wait? And now we go into the final act of the game. Unfortunately, this game doesn't really have a good final boss. This is more just like the boss of Metallic Madness rather than like the boss of the game. But I gotta say, the music for the good future of Metallic Madness is fantastic. And I love the background scenery. Like, you got this really prosperous and nice looking city in the background, and it just looks great. Okay, you do gotta be careful here because this is a death pit. I never really showed off this gimmick. It takes you into the background, which allows you to avoid getting damaged by foreground elements. The only purpose of it here is to let you pass by the spike trap. Okay, this little mini boss here is really obnoxious. It's only vulnerable while it's attacking. And you gotta do it more than once. And it's gotta be kind of low for you to actually be able to hit it. But that brings us to the actual final boss of the game. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to get the first hit on this boss safely. I'm gonna try to. Normally I just take a hit, collect a ring, and then with my invincibility frames attack him. But if this is all he does, then I don't know how you're supposed to get an opportunity to actually attack him. Oh. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Except he wasn't low enough for me to actually attack him. I think that's the opportunity. So we're just gonna skip past that phase. I'll try to show off how you're supposed to attack him. Oop. That one, I think, was a little more obvious. Oh, now I have no ring, so I have to fight him the right way. Well, I wasn't expecting him to do that. I guess I've got to redo it now. Yay. Ah, come on. Okay, I'll just fall down anyway. That's fine. Spike pit. Well, that was almost bad. I guess this episode's gonna go a little bit long, because we're not ending it till I finish this. Okay, back to the final boss. We know how the first two phases work, so I'm just gonna damage boost through those. And now he's gonna shoot his fins at us. And then the last phase, he'll shoot the fin directly at us. And then he actually makes himself vulnerable by pogoing on the last spin. That's it. That's the final boss. See what I mean when I say this is more of an act boss than it is a boss of the game? Apparently there were plans to have a more proper final boss, but it got scrapped at some point. And so our good ending shows the little planet break free of its chains and return to its cycle of time travel. And we get a nice little montage of Sonic's adventure in that really lovely animated style.
In the end, who's on your side? Who can you trust? You're in the middle of the night. Where will you be? If you can't find you, there's no place to go. Nothing to do. If you gotta do something, you gotta do something. Believe in yourself. 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 Hey!
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have some faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
Don't rearrange. No need to change. Stay like you are. Keep it all the same. But as you move along in your life, keep an open mind. And don't forget that if you gotta do something, believe in yourself. Yourself. Yourself.
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself. You got to have some faith in yourself if you want respect from your friends.
When you feel tight, look at yourself.
Inside your heart, you will find a special place to unwind.
When you feel right, look at yourself.
Inside your mind, you see connected eternity.
So I think if we had the US soundtrack selected, this would just be Sonic Boom again.
You'll find a special place to unwind. When you feel right, look at yourself.
I could be wrong though, because I really don't play with the US soundtrack. And as part of our good ending, we get this little post-credit scene where the flowers return. You're too cool. And that's it for Sonic CD. Let's get our intro for Sonic 2 now. Actually, a new ending for Sonic CD, I forgot. Now it's time for our Sonic 2 intro. But that's where we're going to end this episode off here. Real sorry we just kind of had to end it with a teaser for Sonic 2. But yeah, we're already at 35 minutes for this recording. But if you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a comment, smash that like button, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!